raising excellence.
Subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to learn trending courses for free. Hi everyone, welcome to XLR. The agenda of this video is as follows. What is statistical analysis and the definition? Use cases of statistical analysis. Case study of TATA Salt, that is prediction of sales. 6 steps of statistical analysis. Today's video will help you understand the purpose and process of statistical analysis. The intention of this video is to strengthen your foundation in statistical analysis. Before we go any further, let us look at what statistics means. According to Croxton and Corden, the two famous mathematicians, statistics is a science of collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of any numerical data. Data by itself will have very little value unless we are able to understand it, interpret it, and analyze it. A huge amount of data can be analyzed to get valuable insights, but without analysis of all this, data is just a bunch of numbers that wouldn't make any sense at the first glance. Statistical analysis is used to get useful and meaningful information from data by using different techniques such as pre-processing the data, graphical representation, and modeling techniques like correlation, regression, and ANOVA. A few such examples include route optimization in airlines industry, return of investment prediction of a company, stock market share price prediction, predictive maintenance in manufacturing. Let us look at one such example as above to see how statistical analysis can help in detail. The production and sales departments of any organization will be interested in predicting the quantity of sales in the future. This can be done using the statistical analysis of the past data. We can do that using statistical analysis. A statistical analysis will usually go through 6 steps. Let us apply each of these to our task of predicting the sales of salt packets for December 2020. Step 1. Business objective. The first step is to understand the business objective and the reason for the analysis. In this case, our objective is clear. It is to predict the quantity that will be sold for December using the past data. Objective can also be an exercise that is used to reduce costs or any other purpose for that matter. Step 2. Data collection. The next step is the collection of data. Data could be gathered from different users through surveys, reports, research papers, websites, and so on. If you think about it, we often see data from different sources around us. The data can be classified as primary data and secondary data based on the source. Let us first understand what primary and secondary data mean. Primary data can be defined as a data collected directly by contacting the person to serve the purpose of business objectives. The data collected from first-hand sources such as surveys, internal data of an organization, interviews, or experiments are called primary data. For example, here we have collected the data of the sales from Jan 2018 to November 2020. This is an example of primary data since it was the internal data of the company. Now, let's look at what secondary data means. Secondary data is the data that has already been collected through primary sources and made readily available for the researchers to use it for their own analysis. It is a type of data that has already been collected in the past. The data may also have been collected for general use with no specific research purpose. For example, the data of infected patients from COVID-19. The next step in process is the visual representation of data. What does this mean? Simply put, the collected data has to be graphically represented. This will enable us to understand the trends and patterns in data. Do you agree that there are missing values in the table below? Yes. As you can see here, there are missing values in the dataset, and it's crucial that these missing values are corrected properly. If not, it might lead to misleading insights from the data, and a data scientist needs to spend a lot of time on this step to avoid the same. First, let us understand how the missing values problem can be sorted. It is done with the help of a technique called missing value treatment. Let's understand missing value treatment first. There could be several reasons behind the missing values like human error, data incorrectly received, output error, and so on. In the above mentioned data, we can see two values are missing. The missing values of a 2019 September and 2020 December. To fill these two missing values, we'll use imputation techniques like mean, median, and mode. Here, let's do mean imputation, which shall replace those NA values by calculating mean value for the dataset. The mean imputed value of this dataset is 905. So now we have a dataset that is suitable for proper analysis. Let us now look at the second method of data pre-processing, outlier treatment. Before we understand the procedure, let's understand what outliers are. Outlier is the data point which lies outside the range of the remaining data points in a dataset. For example, the sale of electronic goods during holidays like Black Friday sale, New Year, and so on could result in outliers in data of sales for that entire year. This is because the electronic goods sales are way higher in these days of the year when compared to the normal days. To detect outliers, we have a simple technique called box plot method. The values that fall outside the upper and lower limit are called outliers. Here, we can see one outlier which is above the upper limit. The data point highlighted in red is an outlier. Now here, we have to correct this outlier by using different techniques. One of the method is replacing the outlier by the mean 905. The next step is the analysis or modeling of the data. After data pre-processing, the data is ready for analysis. We must choose statistical techniques like ANOVA, regression, or any other technique based on the variables in the data. To find the sales for the month of December 2020, we'll use the moving average technique. There are plenty of techniques that we can use for arriving at this result. Here, the author inclination is towards the moving average technique. Based on the data, the 6-month moving average is 245. We then come to the final step of our analysis, which is interpretation. Based on the statistical analysis, our interpretation is that for the month of December 2020, we can sell 245 packages of 1 kg quantity. In this way, statistical analysis is used to predict the future sales based on past data. So we hope you gained quite a bit of information on statistical analysis. To learn more quality content on data science, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon now.